Did Elon Musk just make Twitter great again? Welcome everyone to Ratioed. My name is Harrison Faulkner. Donald Trump is back on Twitter. Jordan Peterson is back on Twitter. The Babylon Bee is back on the platform, and heck, even Andrew Tate is back as well. And every day it seems that accounts and users who were wrongly suspended and wrongly censored by the old Twitter are now being welcomed back on the new Twitter, thanks to Elon Musk, who just made Twitter great again. So why should this matter to you, and why should it matter to Canadians? Well, as Justin Trudeau is on the cusp of passing Bill C-11, and on the horizon is the Online Harms Bill, Canada's legacy media are demonizing Elon Musk for daring to be a force for internet free speech and trying to spin the narrative that the impending doom of Twitter is right around the corner, that Twitter can't possibly survive, they're going to collapse, there's no way they're going to survive. In the eyes of those truly objective, truly impartial, Pulitzer-quality, Laurentian elite legacy media journalists, free speech bad, censorship good. Drop a like on the video, help us out by subscribing to the True North YouTube channel, and the comment question for the episode is this. Do you want to see Elon Musk use his platform to try and fight back against Bill C-11 in Canada, or do you want him to leave that to us Canadians? You want him to leave that battle for us to fight? I'm genuinely curious to hear what you guys have to say, so let me know in the comments. Alright, let's get into it. Well, it's only been about a month since Elon Musk took over at Twitter HQ, and he hasn't wasted any time in making some serious and positive changes to the platform. Right now, he's just cleaning house, it seems like, at Twitter. He got rid of almost half the workforce, got rid of all the woke employees who don't want to work hard, and he's been streamlining the Twitter operation. And on top of that, more importantly, he has been rolling back those censorship rules on the platform that have made Twitter so toxic over the past few years. On Friday, Elon Musk wrote this. New Twitter policy is freedom of speech but not freedom of reach. Negative hate tweets will be max deboosted and demonetized, so no ads or other revenue to Twitter. You won't find the tweet unless you specifically seek it out, which is no different from the rest of the internet. Kathy Griffin, Jordan Peterson, and Babylon Bee have been reinstated. Trump decision has not yet been made. Just like that, Jordan Peterson and the Babylon Bee freed from Twitter jail by Elon Musk. And to celebrate his newfound Twitter freedom, Jordan Peterson sent a little message to the old Twitter and to the woke lunatics who tried to cancel and shut down the free speech of anyone who dares to challenge their narrative. Now, it's important to remember, actually, what got Jordan Peterson and the Babylon Bee canceled from the old Twitter in the first place. Jordan Peterson got banned from Twitter, from the old Twitter, because he used the wrong name, the former name of transgender actor Elliot Page, formerly Ellen Page. And the Babylon Bee, the satirical news site, got suspended from Twitter because they gave transgender Rachel Levine, the Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Health and Human Services Department, their Man of the Year award. Comedy was not allowed on the old Twitter, but hopefully, it feels like under Elon Musk's new Twitter, comedy has a place online again. But to me, the two defining moments of old Twitter's censorship regime were, of course, banning the U.S. president, the sitting U.S. president, from using their platform, and censoring the New York Post Hunter Biden laptop story from the platform. You weren't even allowed to share the article on Twitter. Twitter labeled the New York Post Hunter Biden laptop story as misinformation. But of course, it turned out to be a completely true article. But not like you'll hear any criticism of that coming from Canada's legacy media journalists. Well, on the same day, on the Friday that Elon Musk reinstated Jordan Peterson's account, Elon posted a Twitter poll asking Twitter users if he should reinstate Donald Trump's account. With over 15 million votes, almost 53% of the respondents wanted Trump to return to the platform. Can you guess where my vote went? The next day, on Saturday, Elon Musk writes this. The people have spoken. Trump will be reinstated.
Oh my God! Oh, look at that! Holy smokes, man.
Now, if you were a real journalist, the democratization of information, the opening of free speech on the internet would be cause for celebration. It's the kind of thing you'd supposedly love to see. After all, that's what real journalism is. But, of course, to Canada's legacy media, it is seen as a threat to their monopoly on the news, their control of the information, and fundamentally, their total ownership of the narrative. Prior to Elon Musk's decision to reinstate Jordan Peterson and bring back Donald Trump's account, Canada's legacy media had been trying to spin the narrative that Twitter is crumbling, that Twitter can't possibly survive. There's no way they can possibly survive this. Twitter must be on the brink. They're on the ropes. Now just listen to the way some of these Canadian legacy media journalists talk about Twitter as though it's about to just literally collapse, as though the lights are going to be turned off. This is the way CBC reported on the mass layoffs.
Twitter appears to be on the brink. There are fresh questions this morning about how long the company can hang on. Twitter, the world's unofficial town crier. It's become absolutely essential for vital communications. What are the implications if it were to collapse?
Yeah, this is really the poster child of all chat rooms out there, and one of the originals. That this is where politicians of all stripes, the White House, the U.S. President, the Canadian Prime Minister, and a slew of politicians around the world use this as far as an internet chat room, and really it wrote the rule books as far as how we now communicate. So the imagination of this disappearing from the landscape is truly almost unimaginable.
Take a look. This one is from Global News.
But Musk's puzzling maneuvers and erratic online presence have some observers suggesting he's in over his head.
The equivalent of asking the plumber to come in and wire up your house and do all your electrics. Elon Musk, the engineer, trying to solve problems when he should be thinking not about engineering tactics, but about social tactics and how to deal with a business that is a social business. It's a communications company. It's not a rocket company.
Under the hashtag RIP Twitter, reactions range from attempts at humor to more serious reflections about Twitter's role in advancing human rights and justice. There are some who say Musk could still succeed if he finds the right replacement staff and by expanding Twitter for things like mobile payments and food delivery. They say if the turmoil continues, though, it could invite government intervention, something that would not sit well with a free speech purist like Musk.
And of course, one of our favorite news outlets on Ratio, CTV News.
Why do you think Musk is taking this approach, and how do you think it's going to pan out for him?
This is a company in crisis, and his other companies have been in crisis before, and he's sent those similar messages as well, and it kind of turned things around. What's different here is that he's coming in really late in the game, and he's essentially telling his workforce, you either do it my way or hit the road. He's asking you to commit to this crazy work ethic, but at the same time, he isn't telling you what the reward is, and that, I think, is ultimately going to be the seeds of Twitter's and Elon Musk's doom. This is not how you play ball when you're the new sheriff in town.
Meanwhile, as the hashtag RIP Twitter trend rages through the platform and Canada's legacy media desperately trying to spin the narrative that Twitter is on the brink, Elon Musk just reported an all-time record high in users. No kidding, who could have thought that censoring news, banning accounts for daring to question gender ideology, and just overall creating a toxic environment was detrimental to viewers? And then, of course, bringing back Donald Trump, bringing back Jordan Peterson, reinstating the Babylon Bee, and making Twitter fun again, making Twitter great again, well, all of a sudden, Twitter users come back. Who could have possibly guessed? And at the same time all of this is going on, the Canadian government is on the cusp of adopting into law Bill C-11, the Online Streaming Act. As you already know, Bill C-11 is a seriously dangerous piece of legislation. It could fundamentally alter the way that we interact with the internet as we know it. But of course, on top of that, it will fundamentally alter the way that groups like True North and other independent media sites and this show Ratioed reaches our audience. The bill seeks to force internet streaming services and social media platforms to promote Canadian content and suppress other content. It's not just Canadian content, however. It's Canadian content as defined by the CRTC, the woke regulatory overlords that oversee our entire media ecosystem in Canada. So if you think groups like True North are going to get a fair shake under this promoting of Canadian content, I would think again. Bill C-11 will allow the CRTC to pressure these social media companies to alter their algorithms and force content that you don't want to see in front of you on your platform. Just listen to the CRTC chairman, Ian Scott, say exactly that. Also, while you're listening, notice the tone in his voice. He sounds almost giddy. He sounds almost excited at the prospect of fundamentally suppressing the content you want to see and promoting the content they want you to see. It's truly dystopian.
And I think there will be a number of ways that the industry can do it. I'll give you simple examples. Instead of saying, and the act precludes this, we will make changes to your algorithms. as many European countries are contemplating doing. Instead, we will say, this is the outcome we want. We want Canadians to find Canadian music. How best to do it? How will you do it? I don't want to manipulate your algorithm. I want you to manipulate it to produce a particular outcome.
Now, in recent testimony just a few days ago, Ian Scott, the man you just heard say that he could pressure social media companies to manipulate their own algorithms, is now accusing people of taking his comments that you just heard out of context. Scott said this: "Unfortunately, my previous remarks have been taken out of context by some witnesses that have appeared before you. The CRTC's objective is to ensure that Canadians are made aware of Canadian content and that they can find it. It is not about manipulating algorithms," he said. Google, for all their faults, have actually picked up the torch and fought for Canadian content creators on this. They are really trying to sound the alarm on the dangers of Bill C-11. But it's not just Bill C-11, you see. Under wraps right now is the Online Harms Bill, which is yet to resurface. But that bill will allow the government to force social media sites to immediately take down posts which are racist, hateful, misogynistic, whatever, that the government deems to be racist. And we all know there's no way Justin Trudeau would abuse that kind of legislation, right? There's no way the Canadian government would possibly try to use a bill like that to fundamentally suppress social media freedom as we know it. Well, just after Elon Musk took over at Twitter, Canada Proud tried to get Elon's attention and have him focus in on Bill C-11. Canada Proud wrote on October 28th, basically right after Elon Musk took over at Twitter, "Hey at Elon Musk, now that you own Twitter, will you help fight back against Trudeau's online censorship bill C-11? And guess what? He responded to Canada Proud. He responded back and said, "First I've heard," which got 77,000 likes. And when Elon Musk responded to Canada Proud, Elon's response was flooded by Canadian content creators desperately trying to get him to fight back against Bill C-11. That's the comment question again. Do you want to see Elon Musk fight back against Bill C-11, or do you want him to leave it up to Canadians? I've heard mixed opinions on this, but I want to know what you guys think. Rumble, the free speech alternative to YouTube, responded to Elon Musk and they wrote this: "This bill is very bad. It's one of the motivations for why we chose to move from Canada to the US. And Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO and founder of Rumble, responded as well. He wrote this: "Elon, we need to push back against this bill in Canada. This is extremely important for freedom of expression and the internet in Canada. We will do our part at Rumble, but your help gives it a better chance." That's going to do it for us, guys. I'll catch you on Thursday. My name is Harrison Faulkner, and this is Ratio.